Good morning, Shavua Tov, Agut Tavach. Thanks for joining, tuning into the Kehillat Torah Halacha review for Sunday, June the 6th. So we talked about the chuppah, we talked about Sheva Brachas and the week of rejoicing that a bride and groom enjoy after their chuppah. What's the next thing to talk about in the book? The expectant mother, B'sha'a Tova. That's how we keep the Jewish people going. So he notes here in the Sefer there are many different halachos and minhagim and segulas, which apply especially to an expectant mother. Let's talk about those. Halachas are requirements. That's part of Jewish law. That's what we're required and obligated to do. Minhagim, customs. Those are things that we follow because we love the tradition, because we love expressing our Judaism any which way we can. So numerous various minhagim, customs, have sprung up in all different, in relation to all the mitzvahs that I can think of. Over the years, they say Minhag Yisrael Torahi, that if the Jewish people keep it as a custom, it really is Torah itself. And then there's another category called segulos. These are things that people do, hoping to invite in good signs for things and keep away the opposite, of course. A woman who is expecting a child should be careful to stay away from anything that might harm her unborn child, obviously. And there are guidelines in halacha that she should follow for a safe and healthy pregnancy. First one, of course, arguably the most important. I don't know if it is. Maybe we could have that argument at some point. Davening for the child. The Mishnah says in Masechta Brachas that one who davens that they should have a specific gender child has davened an invalid tefillah. So as they taught our kids in preschool, you get what you get and you say thank you. So the Gemara elaborates and says this is only from 40 days after when the child was conceived. The first 3 days one should daven that should be a successful conception. From the 3rd day to the 40th day, you can daven for whatever you want. From 40 days until 3 months, daven the child has a normal form. From 3 months to 6 months, daven that the fetus should continue to be viable in the womb. 6 months, 9 months, one should daven the child emerge healthy. Elia Rabbah says that one should daven the child should be a God-fearing person and a Baal Midas, have good personal traits. A woman who doesn't have any children should say the Haftarah of the first day of Rosh Hashanah after she lights candles on Shabbos. That, of course, is the Tefillah of Chana, davening for a child. Some feel, now what about when do you tell people? When do you tell people? Some people feel it's better to refrain from telling people about a pregnancy because it might bring an ayin hara. The right time to tell relatives that a woman is pregnant is up to the husband and wife. Should be their decision. Nobody else should decide that for them. And many times the news is told rather early. Some say the relative shouldn't be told before it's evident, before she's quote-unquote showing. However, this doesn't apply to parents or in-laws. You can let them know whenever you want. If a woman is asked if she's expecting and she doesn't want to tell people yet, she can say she doesn't know. Discussing the name. Here's a very important topic that comes up. The naming of a child should not bring any type of dispute into the family because that itself is not a positive thing for the child. Although according to the basic premise of the law, there's no concern with discussing the name beforehand. The custom is you don't discuss the name with family members until it's given. Some say this is because when naming a child, either at the bris or when you name a girl, at Torah reading, the parent has Ruach HaKodesh. They actually have a bit of divine inspiration. There's a discussion in the poskim if you're permitted to write the child's name on the birth certificate before naming the child. If you don't, I can tell you from first-hand experience, causes you a lot of headache, but that's what we do. Some say you're permitted to discuss names with your parents during the pregnancy. Tune in tomorrow. We'll discuss the idea of finding out the gender. Very exciting and important stuff. Practical medical knowledge that you can use in the context of Jewish medical ethics. Okay, have a good day. See you tomorrow.